In the lush valleys of Thrace, where the sun dipped its golden rays into the Hebrus River, lived Orpheus, a musician unlike any other. His fingers danced on the lyre, coaxing melodies that calmed wild beasts and soothed even the fiercest souls. His music held a magic that resonated with nature itself, swaying the trees and bringing tears to the eyes of nymphs. Among the Thracian maidens, none could compare to the beauty of Eurydice. Her laughter chimed like wind chimes in a gentle breeze, and her smile outshone the midday sun. Orpheus, captivated by her charm, poured his heart into music, his melodies weaving tales of their love that echoed through the valleys. When he finally confessed his love, Eurydice, her heart enchanted by his music, readily agreed to be his wife. Their wedding day arrived, filled with the joy of their union. But amidst the celebration lurked a darkness. As Eurydice frolicked with her bridesmaids in a meadow bursting with wildflowers, a snake, its scales gleaming like evil emeralds, slithered unseen beneath the vibrant blooms. Its venomous fangs sank into Eurydice's ankle, and a piercing scream shattered the air. The happy celebration dissolved into a heartbreaking cry as Eurydice succumbed to the snake's deadly poison. Grief, a crushing weight, fell upon Orpheus. His lyre, once a source of joyful music, now echoed with the sorrow of his loss. The vibrant world around him lost its color. The once melodious songs of birds transformed into a mournful tune. Inconsolable, Orpheus decided to defy the very rules of existence to get his lost love back. His determination led him to the entrance of the Underworld, a shadowy opening that led to the realm of Hades, the king of the dead. Orpheus, his heart burning with grief, descended into the dark depths, his lyre his only companion. The air itself grew heavy, the silence broken only by dripping water and the mournful groans of tormented souls. He reached the banks of the river Styx, a river of swirling black water that marked the boundary between the living and the dead. A weathered ferryman, Charon, pulled a rickety boat across the churning current. His eyes, like smoldering embers, held the weariness of eons spent ferrying the souls of the departed. Orpheus, his fingers trembling slightly, poured his grief and longing into his lyre. The mournful melody carried tales of his love for Eurydice, weaving a tapestry of emotions that resonated within the very essence of the underworld. A flicker of surprise crossed Charon's hardened features as the music washed over him. The stern set of his jaw softened, a hint of empathy replacing his usual gruff demeanor. Orpheus stepped into the boat, the icy grip of the Styx sending a shiver down his spine. As Charon dipped his oar into the water, the mournful song continued, its notes echoing through the desolate landscape. Finally, they reached the other side. Before Orpheus could disembark, the three-headed hound, Cerberus, materialized from the shadows. Its monstrous form, each head a snarling maw lined with razor-sharp teeth, would strike fear into the heart of any mortal. But as the first notes of Orpheus's lyre pierced the air, a strange stillness descended upon the beast. The music, imbued with the raw power of his emotions, wove a spell that calmed the savage spirit within Cerberus. Its three sets of eyes, usually glowing with malevolent fire, began to droop. One by one, the mighty heads lowered, succumbing to a slumber brought on by the other-worldly melody. Orpheus slipped past the slumbering guardian, his heart pounding with a mixture of hope and trepidation. Finally, Orpheus stood before Hades, his plea echoing through the vast emptiness of the throne room. The music, filled with his deep love and utter despair, resonated within the very walls of the underworld. Even Hades, the stern ruler of the dead, was touched by the raw emotion in Orpheus's music. "Very well, Orpheus," Hades agreed, his voice a deep rumble. "Your music has swayed me. You may take Eurydice back with you, but on one condition. She must follow you, and you cannot look back at her until you have both crossed the border into the world of the living. Elated, Orpheus readily agreed. He began the climb, the faint outline of Eurydice forming behind him. With each step closer to the sunlight, his hope grew. But as they neared the very edge of the underworld, the shadows stretched long, and doubt, a serpent coiling around his heart, began to whisper. "Is she truly there?" it hissed. "Or is this a cruel trick of the gods?" Consumed by this poisonous thought, Orpheus, unable to bear the weight any longer, glanced back. Just as he did, Eurydice, a mere shadow of her former self, materialized behind him. Their eyes met, a look of love and longing passing between them. Yet the moment their gazes locked, she vanished once more, this time forever, back into the shadows of the underworld. Orpheus's cry of anguish echoed through the valley, a lament that spoke of love's devastating loss. He had defied fate, only to be defeated by his own doubt. Heartbroken and consumed by despair, Orpheus emerged from the underworld. The world above held no solace for him. He wandered the land, his lyre forever echoing with mournful melodies that spoke of his lost love. He shunned the company of other women, his heart forever bound to Eurydice. According to some accounts, the Maenads, wild female followers of the god Dionysus, encountered Orpheus during his wanderings. Angered by his rejection of love's influence, they tore him limb from limb, scattering his remains across the Thracian landscape. It is said that even in death, Orpheus's music could not be silenced. His head, severed from his body, continued to sing, his voice carried down the river, Hebrus to the sea. His music, a testament to his enduring love, became a legend whispered on the wind, a reminder of the power of love and the devastating consequences of doubt.